Hi, my name is Valeria, and this is my fish Alexander. I hope this video motivates beginner fish keepers. And to learn more, visit my blog at valeriasandovalcuervo.wordpress.com, linked below. So first we're going to go wash our hands real quick to make sure we get rid of all bacteria that might hurt our fish. We're going to create a base layer with some fluval stratum. This is good for the plants, and I got it on Amazon. It's a 9-pound bag, and it should be enough for several water changes. Now that we've rinsed it, we can just go ahead and put it into this 2.5-gallon tank. I wouldn't recommend a 2.5-gallon for bettas, but my beta's sick right now, so. I'm distributing the soil with this aquarium tool. I would actually recommend a different set because this is pretty hard to do with this one. And now I'm just shaking it up so it evens out. This aquarium sand creates a cap on top of the fluval soil that will stop the tank from looking really murky. It's already been rinsed, so now it can be poured into the tank. As you'll see in just a second, this tool is meant for planting, not evening things out. A scalpel would be much preferred. So I would really recommend just to get a complete tool set in order to get the smoothest plane for your aquascape. I only had this one tool, so I just decided to use my hands instead. This is aquarium gravel. I'm going to be using it in a corner of the tank for aesthetic purposes, but as you can see, I poured way too much, and I'll spend the next 20 minutes fixing that off camera. Here comes the fun part, decorating. This is driftwood. It releases tannins into the tank and has antimicrobial properties. This is just something cool I found at PetSmart. It's cute. And as for this next bridge, as you can tell, it's one of my favorite pieces that I don't get to use in my 6-gallon. So yeah, come along with me as I think about how I'm gonna rearrange everything and what I want to use. This driftwood has already been boiled, so it's good to use in the tank and it won't make your water super yellow, but it'll still have those antimicrobial properties. This is aquarium glue, which you can use to stick some driftwood together to make a bigger piece, because it's really expensive to buy a very large piece of driftwood. So I usually glue smaller pieces together to make one outstanding piece. This bridge reminds me of Kung Fu Panda and Master Uwe for some reason, so I obviously had to include it. Now I'm dumping the white gravel into the corner of my tank to create a base for my makeshift tree, aka the driftwood. I'm pressing the piece of driftwood into the center of the white gravel area with a little bit of force because I want to make sure that it won't fall over and hurt my fish. This is my plan. I got it from Tofu's tanks. They can be found on TikTok. I wrapped it in wet paper towel in order to conserve it in transport because this is from my 6-gallon tank, and I used my plant tool in order to stick it in deep so that it grows roots. Yay, we finally reached the point where we can fill the tank, so I'm going to use a plastic bag in order to stop the water from disrupting what I've created. Aquascaping is all about creativity, so I took a piece of my pothos, rinsed it off, and chose to put it on the side of my tank. I would usually use a suction cup, but I realized that I didn't have any, so instead I chose to attach it using the bridge. Let's just ignore me hurting myself and focus on the task at hand. As I was aquascaping my hospital tank, I hope that you learned some tips and tricks about aquascaping and fish keeping in general. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. This was the finished product. See you next time. Oh yeah, and Alexander wants you to visit my blog at valeriasandovalcuervo.wordpress.com. See you next time.